Yo, what's up my rhythm gang? Back to another video. This is what if Deku was a Titan? So Deku will have a human form and a Titan form. And if you're wondering why I haven't uploaded in 4 days, is because the standards I put for my videos now haven't reached the mark on my last video. And my standards are must have 50 likes and 20 comments for me to make another video. And my last one didn't. And if my video doesn't hit it, I have to wait 4 days before I make another video. So if this one doesn't, you have to wait 4 days for part 2, and then part 3, then part 4. So those are my standards, 50 likes and 20 comments. So let's get straight into this what if. So Deku is just at the park chilling with his friends, or the only friend he does have, and Bakugo comes up to him and starts bullying him, and he pushes Deku to the ground, and then he fires an explosion at his friend, and then Deku gets up super fast and blocks the blast. But as soon as the blast hit him, it made his jaw just like go up, and he bit his tongue. And as soon as this happened, he transformed into a 30-foot Titan, or 30-foot meter Titan. And he looks like what's on the picture. And Bakugo, all of his friends, all of Deku friends, are scared as hell, and they start running away. And since this is the first time Deku has transformed, he's not in control of what he's doing. So he's just going around destroying buildings and flipping cars and all this, and pro heroes are called on him, and they restrain him and knock him out. And within like 15 minutes, he wakes up and is like, what happened? What happened? And he's in the hospital, and pro heroes are around him, and they're like, well, son, you unlocked your quirk, but you weren't in control of it. And he was like, no way, I unlocked my quirk. What is it? And they were like, we don't know, but you should go to the quirk doctor to find out what it is. And fucking Deku's mom is right next to him, and she's like, yes, I'll take him to the quirk doctor right after we get out the hospital. So after they get out the hospital, they go to the quirk doctor, and they do a bunch of tests on him, and they conclude that he has a transformation quirk, and the quirk is called Titan. And no, the quirk is called Titan Fall. And when you use it, Deku, you turn into a 30-meter Titan, and you have like armored plates around you, and you're super strong. And Deku's like, no way, really? It's so awesome. And the quirk doctor was like, yes, that is awesome, but very dangerous, because you could hurt someone really badly if you don't know how to use it. So you must train to figure out how to use it properly. So Deku was like, alright, sure. So they go home. Deku takes a shower, he eats, and go to bed. And while he's dreaming, he fucking transforms, and his feet are hanging outside one, like, his head is outside one, like, wall, and his feet are outside the house. And he wakes up, and then Deku's mom is freaking out and calls the authorities right away. And the pro heroes come and make sure he gets restrained. And then Mount Lady is actually called in. I know Mount Lady isn't a hero, but well, at the time, but she's an upcoming hero. So they call in Mount Lady, like another hero that can transform into a big person. They're like, you have to train this young man to use his power. And Mount Lady is like, well, what's his quirk called? And they're like, his quirk is called Titanfall. And she's like, okay, I could train him to use it. So Mount Lady and this other person, I don't know another like hero that transformed into a giant titan. Um so I'm just gonna say it's Mount Lady's boyfriend or whatever, but he doesn't really transform into a giant titan. He just has like a power of a titan. So Mount Lady takes Deku and starts talking to him and is like, hey, Midoriya, my name is Mount Lady. That's my hero name. And Deku's like, no way, you're a hero. And Mount Lady was like, yes, I'm a hero. So me and this gentleman right here are gonna teach you how to control your powers because they're really dangerous if you don't know how to use them properly. And Deku was like, okay, fine. So Deku, Mount Lady, and this random person go somewhere isolated from civilization and start training. Every day they train, every day they study everything. Like if they're in school, if like academics, and fucking like just quirk training. Basically, UA. So she's teaching him how to transform at will, and he masters that within 2 years. It takes him 2 whole years because he's a kid. He's about 3 years old when his power was unlocked, so he's about 5 years old right now. And he's smart because Mount Lady's boyfriend is actually like a really genius person. So he um, starts thinking of Mount Lady and Mount Lady's boyfriend as like mom and dad. So he starts saying mom and dad at some random points, kind of like stepdad or stepmom. And they train every day for years and years until it's time for Deku to go to middle school. So Deku right now knows how to transform at will, so he doesn't transform like randomly, and he's super powerful. When he was 3 years old, he was destroying buildings and flipping cars. So right now, of years of training, he's able to destroy mountain ranges with his fist. One punch of his fist sends a giant air blast that can destroy an entire mountain. And he can do. He has multiple abilities. One of them's called Fist Barrage, and he has a lot of other cool abilities. But the downside of his quirk is that he can't fight villains inside a house or like somewhere that has a roof because he just won't fit. He can't fight anyone like that. So he decides to go and get himself some equipment so he could fight indoors and places that have roofs. So he saves up a lot of cash from birthdays, from a lot of stuff. He even gets like a part-time job. It's not nothing special, just a small little job, and he does this for like ever since he was 5 years old, ever since he was like 11. 6 years of saving up money from birthdays, holidays, and all this, and he has around 30K, $30,000, and he goes and purchase some equipment. He purchases two knives. He purchases boosters and like grapple hooks, and it's what Aaron uses in Attack on Titan, like the setup they use. So he basically has that setup so he can fight indoors and all this other shit. So he has like all this setup always on him. Like he never takes it off. Because you never know when a villain is gonna attack. The only time he doesn't have it on is when he's in school. So before he could go to school, he has to show his power off to the pro heroes and the police. So they know that he's just not gonna randomly turn into Titan form while he's sitting in class. Or he won't get angry and just transform. So, fucking, he would just go over back to the city with his stepmom, stepdad, and they would go over to the police station. And police station would have like a little area where they could do this test at. And pro heroes are there, and the policemen are there, and they're like, "Okay, what is this that you have on your on your wrist, on your fucking waist?" And they see the setup that he has, and Deku explains. He's like, "Oh, this is if I can't fight in my Titan form when I'm in a building or when there's a roof over my head. So this is so I could fight indoors and not destroy everything." And they're like, "That's a really smart idea." And Deku was like, "Yeah, I know. So this is how it works. So I have 6 blades, or no, I have 8 blades. I have 4 on one side and 4 on another. And I have grapple hooks, so I could grapple around, and I have boosters, so I could grapple and boost around and use these swords to, like, take out enemies in case I am in a building or something." And they're like, "That's very impressive. Now, can you show us your Titan form?" And Deku was like, "Yeah, sure." And he makes everyone stand back, and he he takes his hand and he bites it, and they're like, "What is he doing?" And then he just transforms into this 30-foot armored Titan, and they're like, "That's very impressive." And I really don't think, I'm pretty sure Aaron can't talk in his Titan form, but but I'm gonna make it where Deku can. So he will be talking is like, "Okay, so this is my Titan form, and I could do a lot of stuff in this. With one punch of my fist, I can destroy an entire mountain." And they're like, "Is this true, Mount Lady?" And she was like, "Yep, it's true. I've seen it myself. He's destroyed at least 14 mountains already." And they're like, "Wow, that's very impressive." And Deku was like, "I can't show you fuck me, any of my abilities because I will destroy the entire city. But this is basically it. I'm a big Titan, and I'm really powerful." And they're like, okay, you could go back to your human form." So he goes down to his human form, and the police are like, "Okay, so we're gonna have to make you special clothes. So when you turn into a Titan, you have clothes on because no one wants to see all of that." And and Deku was like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." So the police and certain pro heroes are thinking of a way to make a suit for Deku, and it'll be his hero suit. Someday it'll be like everything. It'll just be clothes he wears under his regular clothes. So he'll have the suit on basically all the time. It'll basically be his skin from now on, because he would just never take it off. So, and if you're wondering, will it start stinking and smell bad? It will, but he could just wash it like if it was his actual skin. He could just put some body wash on it and it'll smell brand new. So, yeah. Um, so the police are like, "Okay, you could start going to school now. Um, it's just you can't use your power at all, not a single time. And those swords and boosters and grapple hooks, leave them at home, so you don't freak anyone out, okay?" And Deku was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay." So then Deku decides to pack certain things for his first day of school. He packs like a lunch, all this other shit, and he packs his journal. And his journal is just all about him, about his power, about his quirk, like, and it's a bunch of other shit. So he goes to school on his first day, and it's his first day, but it's like in the middle of the year for most students. So he goes and Kachan is like, "Who is this new kid?" And he probably said, and he says in his head, "I'm probably stronger than him." And he goes into the middle of the class and is like, "Hello, everyone. My name is Uzuku Midoriya." And Kachan was like, "I feel like I know that name." And he keeps thinking, but he can't figure it out at the moment. And then Deku was like, "I would like to show everyone my quirk, but I can't show it like right now. I have to show it with my drawings." So he puts on a projector and he puts his drawings on the projector, and it shows what Kachan saw that day of his best friend being turned into a giant titan and destroying the city. So he now remembers. He's like, "Deku, is that you?" And Midoriya was like, "Who's asking?" And Deku, "It's me, Kachan." And Deku was like, "I don't remember you, but hello." And then uh Deku flips pages, and it shows him and mountain ranges just demolished. And Bakugo's like, why is it why is your drawing of you destroying mountain ranges? And fucking Deku's like, "Oh, well, I can destroy a mountain with a single punch of my fist." And uh, fucking Bakugo's like, "Wait, what? With a single punch of his fist? That's quite impressive." So he just is really popular, and everyone thinks he's the strongest in the class, which is he is. He's strongest in the entire school, and he finds a few bullies, but they don't really bully him. They just verbally bully him. Sorry guys, I can't pronounce that properly. And they do it behind his back, so he never actually hears it. So then, Deku is, fucking walking home one day, and he decides to take a little shortcut through this alleyway. And he has his, like, set up his rocket boosters and his grapple hooks and his swords outside the school. He uh, has it on walking to school, and then he has it off during school, then he puts it back on walking home. And so he has it on, and he's just walking home, and the sludge villain comes out, decides to attack him. And the sludge villain picked the wrong guy to mess with. So then Deku decides, "Oh, this is gonna be easy." So he goes and um grapple around, like right around the sludge villain, and slices it. And he's doing a bunch of slices, and then nothing's working. So he's like, "Oh god dang it, I have to transform." So he makes sure no one's around. He transforms, picks up the sludge villain, and slams it to the ground and punches the ground one time, and it makes a crater about, like, let me say 30 feet in width, and about, like, I don't know, 15 feet down. And All Might appears, and he's so impressed with this power of this kid. And uh, Deku just untransforms, and he's like, "Oh shit, fuck, okay, I'm in really big trouble." And All Might says, "I am here, All Might." And Deku, he doesn't really know All Might that well. He had no internet or Wi-Fi or nothing back in the woods. He doesn't know All Might at all. He's only heard of him from like Mount Lady talking about him. So he's like, "Hey, hi All Might. It's nice to see you." And he's like wondering what he should say. And then All Might was like, "That's a very impressive quirk you have. Oh, do you mind telling me the name of it?" And Deku was like, "Oh, the name of that quirk is called Titanfall." So then fucking All Might is like, "Oh, it's a very impressive quirk, young man." And Deku was like, "Well, thank you." So then fucking Deku asks for an autograph, and All Might gives him one. And All Might is like, "I have to pick up the sludge villain and uh, throw him away." Or not throw him away, like put him in jail, throw him away in jail. And Deku was like, "Okay, I'll see you later, All Might." So Deku goes on his way, and All Might goes and puts him in jail. So then the attack on the sludge villain never happens. So he goes and he sleeps the next day, and everyone is like in class, and the teacher has these papers in his hand, and he's like, "Okay, or where does everyone want to go, or where does everyone want to do in the future?" And then he just throws the paper up in the air, and he's like, "I already know all y'all want to become fucking, what do you call that shit, heroes in the future." And then everyone shows off their quirks except Deku and Bakugo, because some people think Deku's actually quirkless because he's never shown his quirk off, but they just don't know, so they won't bully him. So then the teacher's like, "I hear that you, Deku, and Bakugo are trying out for the UA," and everyone in class is like, I expected Bakugo and Deku to go. They're the strongest in the school." So then Deku was like, "There's only 11 more months until the entrance exam. Maybe I should start training a little bit more with Mount Lady." And Bakugo is just doing nothing. And then while Deku is going home from the end of the school day, guys, I know that what I just said about everyone showing off their quirk and about UA, I know that the attack on Sludge Villain happens on that day when everyone's showing off their quirks and all that, but I made it a day earlier, so that's basically it. So Deku is walking home, and when he gets home, the police start knocking on his door, and he's wondering why they are at his door. Then he realizes what he had did the previous day. It's like, "Oh shit." And he's like, yes, I know what I did." And the police are like, yeah, why did you do it?" And Deku was like, "Oh, there's a villain. The sludge villain was attacking me, and I had to take him out. All Might was there. If you need my proof, go ask All Might." And so they go ask All Might, and they figure out that he was in self-defense, and they're like, "Well, it's okay, just don't do it ever again." So then Deku was like, "Yes, sir." So he goes over to, or Deku decides to go over to Mount Lady and is like, Stepmom, do you think you could help me train a little bit more?" And Mount Lady is like, "I only help you train for 1 week, but you need to start training your mind and not your body." So then they train for 1 week. He learns like a special spin attack with his legs, and that's basically it. and then he starts training his mind. And for the next 10, no, what the fuck am I saying? For the next 10 months and 3 weeks, he trains his mind. And then it all happens in a flash. He's walking into UA for the entrance exam. And he's walking in. He doesn't trip. He's walking in and he's trying to find the written part of the exam, and he finally finds it. And that's where I'm gonna leave this episode off because I feel like I've been talking too much. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Remember 20 comments and 50 likes is my standard, or I won't make another video for 4 days. And I will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye, my Rhythm Gang.